You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, GH fans. So there is a leak about Cyrus Renaud being the reason Sam McCall dies soon after she donates a big chunk of her liver to save Lulu Spencer. And I suspect he's also the reason his comatose niece nearly died this week. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we're going to dive into all of this, but please click subscribe if you are not following us. First, let's talk about Cyrus's shady behavior, cryptic remarks that he made, and Lulu's near-death incident this week, and then we'll break down Kelly Monaco's upcoming exit and the leak about how Sam dies. If you recall, on Tuesday's episode, Laura Spencer sat at Lulu's bedside begging her daughter to hang on a little while longer. Her brother, Martin Gray, showed up, and they decided to take a little walk around the hallways of General Hospital. When they circled back to Lulu's room, Laura was quite disturbed to see Cyrus there, Bible in hand, sitting at her daughter's bedside. Laura reminded her other brother that she asked him to notify her in advance of him visiting Lulu. And Cyrus told her that he was at the hospital visiting other patients and stopped by and noticed that Lulu had been left all alone. It was pretty much a rebuke and a little bit of a guilt trip that Laura had left her comatose daughter alone. And I think that guilt kind of put Laura in this, mindset, and she didn't push any further on Cyrus. But Martin did decide to push, and he took Cyrus out in the hall for a tense conversation. Martin told Cyrus, stop bothering their sister. She's got enough problems. And despite Martin's criticism, Cyrus said he's giving Laura a greater gift than Martin can ever imagine. That remark had my skin crawling, and I was wondering, what did that even mean? And that was the same episode where we found out there was a donor match for Lulu. We didn't know it on Tuesday, but it turned out on Wednesday that it was Sam McCall. So I didn't see any way that Cyrus would know at that point or would have any control over Sam being the donor match. But then also on the Wednesday episode, we got the news that Lulu's ventilator failed, something that apparently is extremely rare. So rare that Elizabeth Weber and Portia Robinson were pretty freaked out about it. And if you remember, Isaiah Gannon had been in Lulu's room looking for Lucky Spencer. And if it hadn't been for that, Lulu would probably be dead. And guess who was all alone in Lulu's room with her not long before that? Cyrus Renaud. So here's what I am thinking, that he tampered with Lulu's ventilator. So was the gift that Cyrus mentioned to Martin him messing with Lulu's ventilator? Was that jacked up fake preacher literally playing God with his niece's life? Did Cyrus think that he was gifting Laura some peace of mind by ending Lulu's life, giving both of them closure? In his mind, was he ending Laura's suffering and ending Lulu's suffering? I can totally see Cyrus thinking that he was doing a good thing, thinking he was being compassionate by tampering with Lulu's ventilator and ending her life. A mercy killing, and Lulu is in a coma because Cyrus ordered Julian to put that backpack bomb into the floating rib. He was trying to kill Jason. And maybe in some twisted way, Cyrus thinks it is his responsibility to end Lulu's life, end her suffering, give her peace, give Laura peace. I mean, he's got a pretty huge ego. He thinks he's God's messenger. So yeah. And literally nobody else that we saw had access to Lulu's room or the medical equipment that would have done it. So, nobody else really had motive or opportunity. And that's why I think Cyrus did it, especially with that weird remark that he made. So I just wonder if anybody else will suspect him. I think Martin will, if he hears that there's something strange about Lulu's medical equipment failing and there being questionable circumstances right after Cyrus was alone with her. But fortunately, Lulu survived, and now there's a liver donor match. So now let's talk about the General Hospital leak about Cyrus killing Sam McCall. I've been saying for a while that I thought Lulu would get Sam's liver, but I thought she was going to die in an accident, and that's why it would happen. However, if this leak is accurate, Lulu gets it because Sam donates voluntarily, and then things go bad afterwards. I generally do not share leaks from sources that I don't know their track record of reliability. However, this source got a thumbs up from somebody close to the set. So I'm going to go ahead and share it because based on what just happened and Cyrus being back on the scene, it clicks for me, but I will give you the caveat. This is not a spoiler. This is a leak. It's not confirmed, but to me, it's hitting the buttons that I think it could be legit. So the leak is that Sam goes through with the surgery and donates a chunk of her liver and saves Lulu's life. We found out on Wednesday's episode that Sam passed both parts of the donor test, the basic donor match and the liver enzyme test that shows her liver is healthy enough to donate. And at first, she didn't want Dante Falconeri to know that she was a match until the second test came back good, because she didn't want him and Rocco Falconeri to get their hopes up just to have them dashed again. So at the end of Wednesday's episode, Sam burst into Lulu's hospital room, very excited to tell Dante she's a match and can save Lulu. And on Thursday's episode, Sam and Dante tell Rocco and Danny and Scout that she's a match and will soon have surgery to donate part of her liver to save Rocco's mom. Laura's going to be thrilled. Lucky's going to be relieved. Carly and everybody else are going to be excited. It's going to be a huge moment. So the part of the GH leak about Sam dying says that after her donor surgery, after Lulu's life is saved, Cyrus kills Sam by injecting digitalis into her IV bag. If you don't know what that is, digitalis is a medication used to treat heart issues, heart failure. But if you don't have heart failure, it can kill you. It can cause it. So not only that, but after a complicated surgery like Sam donating part of her liver, death from a digitalis overdose can go completely unnoticed. So a doctor like Portia or whoever would likely think that Sam died from complications from the donor surgery. Plus, my research tells me that digitalis isn't a toxin that they search for in a standard autopsy drug screen. And since Cyrus is routinely up at General Hospital and other medical facilities visiting patients, he can move around largely unnoticed and get into Sam's room after her surgery. He's up there a lot, so he wouldn't be noticed. And Cyrus might be able to get a hold of that drug if he is visiting other cardiac patients that he goes to pray with, either at General Hospital or another facility. So that leaves us with this question: why would Cyrus kill Sam? So just first of all, he hates Jason, and Sam is Jason's ex, and they share a child, just off the cuff. But I will also remind you of this. Kelly Monaco said that her exit made absolutely no sense to her, and she said it was retaliation from the powers that be. Despite her saying Sam's death makes no sense, I do see one way that it is justified in the storyline. So remember that when it came out that she was being fired, the source at GH said Kelly Monaco was written out for storyline reasons. And I believe Cyrus tried to kill Lulu to put her at peace. So he may see Lulu's survival as a divine miracle. And now that she's got a liver match from Dante's girlfriend, no less, crazy Cyrus may see that as a sign from God. And he may think by killing Sam, when Lulu wakes up with Sam gone, then Lulu can have her old life back. Like, he is giving Lulu an opportunity to have her life fully restored. She can have Dante back, have their son Rocco back. And basically, by Cyrus killing Sam, he leaves this hole in Dante's life, in the kids' lives that Lulu can just step right back into. And yes, that is very twisted logic, but then again, Cyrus Renault is a really twisted guy. So maybe this leak has it right.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.